Complicit. 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 Hey humans, I'm Amanda Montel, and this is The Dirty Word, where sex and language get it on. Today is one of the last days of 2017. As these tumultuous 365 days come to a necessary and much desired close, I thought what better way for us to celebrate than to look back on the year in words. 2017 has been a year of controversy and contention and wild excitement and internet drama, and a lot of words have been exchanged in the process. So I have put together a list of the 10 most important words of the year, words that reflected the cultural zeitgeist, the political climate, the interests, the emotional and spiritual state of the English-speaking world in 2017. Now, this isn't necessarily a list of my 10 favorite words of 2017. Instead, what I did was I looked at 4 prestigious dictionaries: the Oxford English Dictionary, Merriam-Webster's, the Collins Dictionary, and Dictionary.com, which each year pick their #1 word of the year, as well as a few runners-up. A lot of what goes into these dictionaries picks for the top words of the year are increase in search volume. If the word is being searched online a ton more than it was the year before, that really says something about how important that word is to the culture at the time. I grabbed each of those dictionaries' top words, threw in a few others that I think really represent 2017, and that's where this list comes from. I also want to say one quick thing about dictionary entries, which is that, the people who write the dictionary don't really invent the definitions. Their job is to create definitions that reflect the word's use by regular people in everyday culture and conversation at the time that that dictionary is being written. So when I read these words and their definitions to you, the definitions more or less should represent all of us. So here we have it, the definitive ranking of the 10 most important words of 2017. One of the runners-up in Merriam-Webster's race for the most important word is dotard. The word dotard means a person in his or her dotage, which means a state or period of senile decay marked by decline of mental poise and alertness. This word saw a 35,000% search increase from 2016 to 2017, and that has everything to do with North Korea's President Kim Jong-un calling Donald Trump a mentally deranged US dotard. Fidget spinner. This was in the running in the Collins Dictionary, one of the most defining products of 2017, not only in the US, but also in the UK and many other countries. I don't own one, but here it is. Can't forget it. Part of me thinks that the fidget spinner became such a popular toy in 2017 because of all the nervous energy and anxiety that was circulating this year. I believe this word rose to prominence on Twitter. I'm not very Twitter active, but that's the rumor. And this comes from the Oxford Dictionary's list. Basically, milkshake duck refers to a person or a thing, some sort of figure that gains an immense amount of love and popularity really quickly on the internet, only to have the internet turn on it right away. And that's because it's quickly revealed that this person or thing has a distasteful or repugnant past. I think one of the most iconic milkshake ducks of the year was this kid who went viral on the internet because he had been bullied at his school, and thousands of people, celebrities, just showered him with support, and then eventually it came out that he was only being bullied because his parents refused to take down their Confederate flag or something like that. Recuse, this is a verb, and it means to disqualify oneself as a judge in a particular case. This word made Merriam-Webster's list after all of the controversy that Jeff Sessions inspired after he recused himself from the FBI investigation in March. Broflake. This comes from the Oxford Dictionary's list. I am personally a huge fan of this one. This was an important word of the year because while snowflake is the slur or term of ridicule used by the alt-right or the far right to describe liberals, broflake is the reverse. The most notorious broflake of the year, according to The Guardian, was James Damore, I think is how you pronounce his name, of that famous Google memo where he proceeded to talk about how science says that women are inferior computer programmers, even though it was a woman named Grace Hopper who even invented the idea of a computer language in the first place. The next word, and this comes from the Collins Dictionary list, is gender fluid. And this is defined as not identifying exclusively with one gender rather than another. This word increased 65% in use over the past year, and that has very much to do with both the good of issues of gender identity becoming more visible and the bad of them coming under such intense and sometimes violent scrutiny. The next word, and this comes from the Oxford Dictionary's list, is white fragility, and this is defined as discomfort and defensiveness on the part of a white person when confronted by information about racial inequality and injustice. Fake news. This was the Collins Dictionary's #1 word of the year. This, as we probably already know, refers to false, often sensational information disseminated under the guise of news reporting. Usage of this term increased 365% year over year from 2016. Trump actually recently claimed to have invented this word. It's actually been in use since the 90s, but he can certainly take credit for spewing lots of it. The second most important word of the year, and this comes from dictionary.com's list, it's their #1, complicit. This is defined as choosing to be involved in an illegal or questionable act, especially with others. Lookups for this word increased 300% year over year. Lookups spiked a few times, the most memorable of which for me was back in March when Scarlett Johansson played Ivanka Trump in an SNL sketch where she was wearing this gold glittery dress in a perfume ad for Ivanka's new perfume called Complicit. And the #1 most important word of the year, according to Merriam-Webster, and I am agreeing with their decision, is feminism. Merriam-Webster defines feminism as the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. Searches for this term spiked sort of 3 key times over the course of 2017. The first was during the final weeks of January after the Women's March on Washington on Inauguration Day. The second time was about a month later after Kellyanne Conway publicly stated that she does not identify as a feminist because she thought it sounded anti-man and pro-abortion. And it spiked once more in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein allegations, the Me Too movement, and all of the other sexual harassment discussions that have happened over the last few months. It seems that this word is only getting more heated and more contentious instead of less, which is very interesting to see. We're in a strange time for both words and for culture, since the two are inextricably linked. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Dirty Word, and thank you all so much for watching the show in 2017. I will be back next year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with these words chosen by these dictionaries? What do you think was the most important word of 2017? Please comment below, and remember, stay dirty.